What's going on, everybody? Brian back here at the B-Dubs Movie Hub, and I've got every movie that I watched in June to talk to you about today. There's 25 in total, so let's not waste any time. Let's get to this. All right, so most of these I did watch on physical media, couple on some streaming services, and then I only got to see four in theaters this past month. I didn't get out to the theaters as much as I usually try to, but with that, the first movie that I watched in June, and this was on June 3rd, was Kingdom of Heaven. I got the 4K Steelbook here. I really love this Steelbook. I showed this off in my recent haul video, so I'm not going to go into too depth showing this off, but I did give this movie 5 stars. I've always really enjoyed this movie. I saw it many times back since it came out in 2005, and this really cool Steelbook 4K edition. I watched the Roadshow version, so it's slightly longer. There's an intermission in it, but it's just such a fantastic Ridley Scott movie. I think Orlando Bloom doesn't get such a fair shake in this. I thought he did a fine job. There's just a really good cast. You have Liam Neeson in this as well. It's really just a fun action adventure saga. I mean, it's a really long movie, but it's really good, and that is Kingdom of Heaven with 5 stars. On June 4th, I did kind of a random double feature. These are two movies I had picked up from Vinegar Syndrome a while back, and the first one was Sweet Sugar. This is from the 70s. I gave this 3 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was pretty good. It's a women's prison exploitation movie from the 70s, about women in prison dealing with corrupt cops, and I don't know. It was all right for what it was, but yeah, this is 3 stars on Letterboxd for Sweet Sugar. Then later that night, I watched Eat Brains Love. This is actually from Gunpowder and Sky, which is a partner label through Vinegar Syndrome. I've had this one for quite a while, and I just hadn't got around to watching it. And I watched a few zombie movies in June, and this was the first one. And I don't know, I had been wanting to see it for a while. I actually really liked this movie. I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was really well done, really good comedy, and just really good gore. So I highly recommend checking out Eat Brains Love. I believe it's still available on Vinegar Syndrome. If you're not looking to purchase it, I'm sure it's on streaming somewhere. But yeah, that is Eat Brains Love. And again, I gave this one 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. And on June 8th, I started down the John Wick journey, just rewatching all of these. I was getting ready to check out Ballerina in theaters, so I wanted to do a full rewatch of the John Wick saga here. And starting off with this one, I love this movie. I've always loved this franchise. This is a 5 star movie for me. It's so good. Keanu Reeves is just fantastic. Um, I never realized this steelbook has like the sticker on the front of this, and I might try to peel that off at some point. But anyway, regardless, um, I don't know. This is the Blu-ray steelbook that I have here. It looked really good on Blu-ray, to be honest with you. I never upgraded it to 4K when it came out, but I love John Wick. I love this franchise. This is 5 stars on Letterboxd there. And then later that night, I continued and I went with John Wick Chapter 2. Again, another really good entry into the John Wick franchise. I actually gave this one 5 stars as well. I don't know. I really enjoy this franchise. It's so much fun. Keanu Reeves is just so good in these. And I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they do more. It looks like they are going to do a John Wick 5. We'll see how it goes with the franchise. The first two movies are really good. Really good. And yeah, the first two, 5 stars for me. All right, on June 9th, my wife and I watched Fountain of Youth. I believe this one is on Apple TV Plus. I love a good kind of adventure movie in the same vein as National Treasure with Nick Cage, and that's kind of what Fountain of Youth is. It's a little bit more fantasy involved in it at points. My wife and I love John Krasinski. We're big fans of The Office, so We try to watch most of the movies that he puts out and decided to watch this one. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's been getting very good reviews. I thought Krasinski did a fine job. Natalie Portman's in it. She does a really good job in it. I don't know. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was kind of fun, and I like kind of fun action adventure movies. It's got some good comedy in it, some few good laughs. But yeah, Fountain of Youth, 4 stars on Letterboxd. And again, I watched that one on June 9th. Okay, moving along, on June 13th, I watched John Wick Chapter 3, or I guess this one's actually just called, I don't know, just John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. This is the only one that has a subtitle to it, which I thought was interesting. That, they went with John Wick Chapter 2, and then added Parabellum to the title of this one. But overall, another really fun entry into the John Wick franchise. I gave this one 4.5 stars. It's not perfect. I liked Mark Dacascos as the villain. I just thought some of his dialogue and scenes were a little corny. So took it down half a star there, but it's still a really awesome action movie. And like I said earlier, I kind of wanted them to keep going with these because I just really loved this franchise. Okay, later that night on the 13th, I went and saw Ballerina in theaters. I decided to watch this in between John Wick's Chapter 3 and 4 because that's kind of where it sits in the timeline. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought Ana de Armas was really good. You get that whole John Wick feel with the action and the gunfire and the gunfights and just all of that is just so good. Lots of intense fight scenes and action scenes. We do get Keanu Reeves back in a cameo as John Wick. He's not in it a ton, but again, it's not a story about him, but he is essentially brought in towards the middle and end of the film, which is really good to see. Again, I gave this one 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed Ballerina. So I wrapped up Friday the 13th with John Wick Chapter 4. I know I probably should have been watching Friday the 13th, but it is what it is. I went with Chapter 4 here to finish off the franchise. This is a 5-star movie for me. This franchise is, like I said, nearly perfect. Between the 4.5 and 5 stars I've given every movie here. I can't wait to see what they continue to do. I believe they're supposed to be doing a Kane movie with Donnie Yen, so that'll be like another spin-off. It'll be interesting to see how that is. I'm not sure if they've even filmed it yet or when it's coming out, but I'm pretty sure that should come maybe before John Wick Chapter 5. Who knows? But I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I thought the Kane character that Donnie Yen played was really well done. So I did do a lot of rewatches in June, kind of getting ready for some of the other sequels that are coming out. And on the 14th, I went with 28 Days Later. I had not seen it in a very long time. I don't own it on physical media. I know there's a 4K Steelbook coming out at some point. I don't know how this movie would look on 4K just because it is shot on digital video and it's just meant to look super grainy, but I really love 28 Days Later from Danny Boyle. Cillian Murphy is fantastic in it. It's just a really fun, different take on the zombie genre, right? You have these infected, but they don't move slow like you get with, your typical zombie movies. They move fast. And I don't know, I really have always enjoyed 28 Days Later. I give it 5 stars on Letterboxd. I am very much looking forward to adding the 4K to the collection whenever that does come out. And then later that night on the 14th, I watched 28 Weeks Later. I only have this on DVD. This is one, I've showed this off in a haul update a couple months ago. I got this for 25 cents at my local library. I couldn't pass it up the second I saw it because I didn't own it. I had never seen it before watching it this past month, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. I didn't have high hopes. I feel like it didn't get as good a reviews as the original one, but I don't know. I thought it was really well done. It's got a really good cast with Robert Carlyle, Rose Byrne, Jeremy Renner, Idris Elba, Catherine McCormick, Imogen Poots. I don't know. I didn't even realize that it had such a stacked cast until I started watching it. But I really thought 28 Weeks Later was a solid sequel to the original. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this is a 4-star letterbox rating for me. I really, again, really surprised at how much I like this one. All right, so on June 16th, I started a rewatch of another franchise that I absolutely love. The first movie in that franchise is one of my all time favorite films. It is the movie that got me into movies, it is the reason for this massive collection behind me, and that's Jurassic Park. 5 stars. There's not a whole lot I can tell you about this movie just because you already know. It's just an all-time classic. It's one of my favorites. This is, like I said, this is the movie that it came out 1993, just before my 13th birthday. I think just a few weeks before I turned 13, this came out, and I was just in awe watching this movie and just insanely captivated by what Steven Spielberg had put on screen. It was such a there was so much charm in it as well for such a, a massive movie about dinosaurs. And I don't know, there's nothing bad I could say about this movie. There really isn't. It's so good. And I wish Letterboxd was around when I was younger, because I would love to know how many times I've seen this movie in my lifetime. And I mean, it's countless, right? Like, just so much. I had it on VHS. I had it on DVD at some point. I have this really nice 4K set, and Jurassic Park is just one of the best. I absolutely love it. On the 17th, I watched The Lost World, Jurassic Park, so the second in the franchise. Um, I I've always liked this one. I don't think it really lives up to the first necessarily. It's still a 4-star movie for me on Letterboxd. Jeff Goldblum returns and is just really good in this. Julianne Moore is really good. Um, I don't know. It's such a fun movie, and Vince Vaughn. I forgot Vince Vaughn was in this too. But yeah, this is just a really fun entry into the Jurassic Park franchise, and yeah, I gave it 4 stars, and I really like it. On June 18th, I kept the Jurassic Park train going, and I watched Jurassic Park Part 3. Sam Neill returns in this one. It wasn't. I don't know if they really needed to make this movie. I mean, to be honest with you, they probably didn't need to make The Lost World Jurassic Park, but overall, the first 3 movies are still good. This holds up. I enjoyed it. This is, what did I give this one? I give it 3.5 stars. So I still enjoyed it. It's not the best movie in the franchise by far, because that's the first movie. But I like Part 3. There's a little bit, that charm that's in the first movie kind of comes back in this one. Sam Neill returning as Alan Grant was always kind of a nice thing to see in this. You get Laura Dern kind of as a cameo, reprising her role as Ellie Sadler from the first one. So it's fun. That's the best takeaway that you can get from Jurassic Park 3, is it's still really fun dinosaur movie. So that again is a 3.5-star Letterboxd rating for Jurassic Park 3. All right, on June 19th, I turned to Tubi and I watched The Karate Kid. I did not watch this Karate Kid, though. I did not watch the original 1984. I watched the one from 2010. I originally vowed never to watch it. I never had a desire to see it. I didn't think it was going to be very good. I thought it might ruin the original franchise for me. But shit, I was surprised. I kind of liked it. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. I thought Jackie Chan did a really good job in this movie. Not so much for Jaden Smith. I thought his character was kind of annoying. But overall, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed the Karate Kid from 2010. It was better than I expected. I'm not gonna say I hate myself for liking it. I think I had such, I grew up watching the original Karate Kid, Karate Kid Part 2 and 3, and even the next Karate Kid, which we know is not a great movie, but um, overall, yeah, just really surprised at how much I liked uh, the Karate Kid. All right, the next day on the 20th, I did kind of a random double feature. No, it was a random double feature. I ended up watching three movies on the 20th, but two of them were in theater. One of them was on physical. So I went and saw Karate Kid Legends. Um, this one I definitely wanted to see because Ralph Macchio was returning as Daniel LaRusso. Jackie Chan returning as Mr. Han. A little bit different from the 2010 version. He seemed very, you know, mellow in the first one. He was a little bit more upbeat in Karate Kid Legends, but I actually really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Um, Again, not the best movie in this franchise, but I thought it was a nice little throwback. You had the nostalgia of Daniel LaRusso returning, Ralph Macchio, and I don't know. I just thought it was a good entry into the franchise. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't didn't blow my mind, but I thought it was fun. The fight scenes were well choreographed. Ben Wang as Li Fang was a really he did a really good job. This was not his first movie, I don't think, but um, he's credited as like introducing. I thought he did a good job. Joshua Jackson is randomly in this movie as a boxer. I don't know if you could hear the fireworks going on outside, but we're a couple days away from the 4th of July here, so I'm not really surprised. But anyway, back to Karate Kid Legends. Overall, I thought Karate Kid Legends was pretty decent, and yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. And then after seeing Karate Kid Legends, I went down the hallway and went and saw 28 Years Later. Um, I don't know. This is a movie that's getting mixed reviews, but I liked it a lot. I give it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. I thought the cast was really good with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Alfie Williams was a child actor, very, very impressive. He did such a fantastic job. Jodie Comer does a really good job. Ralph Fiennes, I feel like kind of outside of Alfie Williams, I feel like Ralph Fiennes stole the movie. I thought he was fantastic. He comes in a little bit later. Um, I think some of the issues that people are having is that there's almost kind of two different movies, right? You have the first half and then you have the second half, and it's kind of two different journeys. And there's a bit of a family dynamic in the film, and I don't know. I thought it worked. I thought it in this setting, in this infected zombie setting, I thought it worked pretty well. I thought the infected with the alphas, I thought were really cool. Maybe a little too much hanging dong, but um, that was an interesting choice by Danny Boyle to showcase that. But overall, I thought it was really good up until the end. I will say that the end of this movie is weird. It changes the tone of the film altogether. But I can't wait to see where it goes in Bone Temple, which comes out, I think, in January 2026. So I'm really looking forward to see where they go with this. But the ending of 28 Years Later is probably why I didn't give it 5 stars, but I gave it 4.5. So overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Just that ending was super bizarre. Super, super bizarre. All right, later that night on the 20th, for my third film of the day, I continued on in the Jurassic Park / Jurassic World franchise. I watched the first Jurassic World. Chris Pratt. Why can't I think of her name? Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought that this was a really good sequel. I gave this 4 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was kind of a nice movie to continue the franchise after so many years, right? You had, 14 years in between Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. Clearly, they didn't learn their lessons by creating the new park, but overall, a really fun entry. I thought Chris Pratt was um, a good choice to bring into the franchise. I think his charisma and his humor and just the his sarcasm I thought worked really well in the movie. And overall, I really enjoyed Jurassic World. Moving on to June 22nd, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It gave this one 3 stars. I thought it was pretty well done. Again, you've got Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard returning for this one as well. Um, I think it was a fun sequel to Jurassic World. I think some of the stuff with the basically inventing new dinosaurs, I feel like it gets a little carried away within really all three Jurassic World movies. The Indominus Rex and then the Indoraptor. I don't know. I thought those were a little bit of a stretch with all that. But another returning character, actually, I forgot, was BD Wong, who was in the original Jurassic Park and then was not in 2 or 3, but came back in Jurassic World and then was also here in Fallen Kingdom. But I think this was a good story. I think it does get a little weird with the Maisie storyline. The character was fine. I thought she was an okay addition as the kid that they brought in. I feel like they've done a kid. There's been kids in every single one of these, so it kind of makes sense that they continued that trend. I just thought the storyline around um, her character was a little weird in Fallen Kingdom here. But I don't know. Overall, I still enjoyed it. I give it 3 stars, so it wasn't the worst. And then on June 23rd, I finished off the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park franchise with Dominion, more fireworks. um, but again, I gave this one 3 stars. I think this one gets a lot of shit. It's definitely pure nostalgia fuel with the return of Alan Grant, Ellie Sadler, and Ian Malcolm. Again, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. I thought they kind of meshed really well with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's character. I thought it was really, really kind of well done. Again, the story's not great. The storyline's a little weird. You get the giant crickets. You get BD Wong back again. He's trying to kind of redeem himself for being sort of the villain in Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. But I don't know. Overall, I thought this was decent. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the new Jurassic World Rebirth. I am seeing that here on, actually, I'm going July 4th. I'm seeing that on Independence Day. So I'm really looking forward to checking out Rebirth here in just a couple days. On the 25th of June, I watched Trick or Treat. This is one that I've showcased in 2 videos recently, my little archive trip and then my recent June haul pickups. But I did want to see this one kind of right away, so I did break this bad boy open. I really like this movie. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was a lot of fun. My only issue really was that the Sammy Curry character here just wasn't in it enough. Like, I feel like there could have been a little more interaction between him and the main character in the movie. But really bonkers, kind of fun 80s horror movie. And I don't know, again, I've talked about this now twice on the last 2 videos, but I really love this little box set. And it's just a really cool set. I really enjoyed this movie. I was really not sure what to expect, but the hype around this was huge. And I think it lived up to the hype. 4 stars on Letterboxd. All right, so for my final 3 movies for the month of June, I wanted to watch some of my Criterion movies that I have never seen. We've got the Criterion sale. It started this past Friday on June 27th. I did a video over on Mega Mike, the Movie Man's channel. I'll link that down below. I'm going to keep linking that for anybody that hasn't seen it. But we talked all things with recommendations and what movies we'd like to see on the Criterion catalog. But with the sale here, I wanted to watch some of the ones I haven't really dove into yet in my collection, and there's a good amount of them. So the final three that I watched for the month of June, on June 27th, I watched Night of the Living Dead. I have the Blu-ray here. I don't know why I had never seen this movie. I haven't seen any of the Dead movies. I don't know why. I love the zombie genre. It was time to watch this. I kind of wish I had the 4K because I'm sure it looks really good in black and white in 4K. But I purchased this one long before the 4K came out. I thought this was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. I think maybe it gets a little bit more hype than I'm willing to give it, but for made in 1968 and just being kind of one of those early horror movies, I don't know. I thought it was good. I liked it. I thought the cast was really good. I'm looking forward to kind of checking out the rest of the Dead franchise over time. I do need to get the rest of them. I don't have Dawn of the Dead. Obviously, would be the next one to watch. I know there's a beautiful second sight release out there that I think is pretty much sold out anywhere. So I'll probably never get that. So I'll have to wait for something. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead, first time watch for me in June. I'm a little ashamed at that. I really feel like I should have seen this a long time ago, and I don't know why I just never did. But I'm glad I finally got to it because I liked it. 4 stars. And then on the 28th, oh, I lied. There was 4 more movies, so now there's 3 more movies, 2 Criterions and then 1 more theater. But the next Criterion that I watched on the 28th was Dogfight. This stars River Phoenix. Lily Taylor, is directed by Nancy Savoca. It's from 1991. It's relatively short, 93 minutes. This is a really good movie. It's a little weird. There's some awkward, intimate scenes between River Phoenix and Lily Taylor's character that I was almost kind of uncomfortable watching it. Like it almost looked like they didn't know what they were doing. But overall, I kind of like this movie. It was, it starts off with a bunch of Marines putting in $50 for this competition, and they gotta, whoever brings the ugliest girl to this party wins. So they're not great human beings, clearly, but the story kind of goes in an interesting direction, and I thought it was pretty well done. I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. Again, some of the more intimate scenes were a little awkward for me, but I don't know. I thought this was pretty good. If you haven't seen Dogfight, you should check this out. It's interesting. On the same night, 28th, I watched Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory. This was a first-time watch. This is from 1957, 88 minutes long. Really short runtime, which I thought was pretty good. It moved pretty quick, right, for 88 minutes, but this is a really good movie. Kirk Douglas is really good. It's kind of an anti-war movie, and takes place during World War One. Whole French colonel goes head to head with the army's ruthless top brass when his men are accused of cowardice. And so, yeah, he's basically, there's like a whole court martial going on. So Kirk Douglas is defending his men. I give this 5 stars. I thought it was really, really good. I think it's a classic. I think this is one I'll probably revisit from time to time. I really do enjoy war movies. And you don't really get a ton of 88-minute war movies. I feel like they're usually pretty like big epics. And this one's pretty quick, so I don't know. I like it. I like this one a lot. So that is Paths of Glory with 5 stars on Letterboxd. All right, so the final movie that I saw in the month of June, I went to theaters and I saw F1 in IMAX. I gave this movie 4.5 stars. I thought it was really well done. It's very loud. The racing scenes are great. If you're going to see this, make sure you see it in IMAX because it is absolutely worth it. It is such a great thing to see in that environment. The theater was packed when I went to see this. People were clapping at the beginning of it. When it came up, it said Apple TV. People were clapping that it was like an Apple production. Maybe because you don't usually get Apple TV productions in theaters. But overall, really fun, awesome movie with F1. You have such a great cast with Brad Pitt. Damson Idris, who I had never heard of or seen any of his movies before, was really good. Javier Bardem, um, what's her name? Carrie Condon and her super lovely Irish accent. Just a really, really good cast overall, and just a super fun movie. So I definitely recommend checking out F1 again. See it in IMAX because it's really worth that experience. But that is it. That is 25 movies that I watched in the month of June. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys watched. What are you looking forward to in July? We've got Jurassic World Rebirth. We've got Superman. We've got Fantastic Four First Steps. I am hoping to get to the theaters to see. Well, I am going to the theaters to see two of those because I'm seeing Jurassic World this Friday the 4th, and then I'm checking out Superman on the 8th. There's like an early screening or something that I'm going to for that. So, very much looking forward to checking those out, and really looking to get to the theaters for Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm really hoping the MCU can figure out this franchise because the original movies that have come out, the movies to date for Fantastic Four have just not been very good. But that is it. I hope you guys liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this out with your movie loving friends. I'm on Letterboxd, Instagram, and Facebook. I will put the link in the description below to all those social media platforms. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.